Hi, my name is Piotr and I'm the founder of DevMeetings. I would like to show you today a couple things about what is DevMeetings, what is the history of how we started the workshops, what subjects are we doing right now, and I would also like to show you the process of how we prepare the workshops, so it takes hours and not days to prepare everything. We have approached you as a great developer to work with us, and I would like to show you how does the entire process of doing the workshops also look from the perspective of a mentor. So basically, we do software development workshops. We have started doing the first workshops in around 2007 or 2008, and we started with JavaScript workshops. So you can imagine back then, 2008, actually probably nobody believed that one day JavaScript will be the technology that is serious, that is really popular. And back then we started doing the workshops just to show the people how cool the technology is, and that we believe that one day you will be able to create complete applications within the browser. For the first workshop ever, back in 2007 or 8, we tried to invite as many people as possible, and finally 7 or 8 people came to the workshop. Right now, when we offer a new workshop, then we have more than 100 or 200 people in one city wanting to participate. So many people want to learn. I think we are also providing a pretty good value for the developers, so that they want to participate in the events. And right now we want to go outside of Poland and outside of Germany, where we started the events. And we start right now with UK, we start with Spain, and probably we will also would like to start in other countries as well, because after doing 200 or more events in the last 7 years, we have gathered so many experiences on how to create and conduct a cool workshop, and we want to share this. So basically, Dev Meetings is an initiative. It's a community of people who want to learn, who want to explore new technologies, who want to also share their knowledge with colleagues. And on one hand, we have participants. On the other hand, we have a smaller community of mentors. Sometimes the mentors are participants on other workshops, so it mixes. It's a living community of people who, on one hand, want to learn, on the other hand, who want to share their knowledge as mentors or trainers. Dev Meetings is the idea behind Dev Meetings is it should be accessible to as many people as possible. That's why we started this pay what you want model. At the beginning, Dev Meetings was for free, but we have seen that the participants are not always serious about joining us, and sometimes 30 people registered to the event, and only, for instance, half of them came to the workshop. That's why we wanted somehow to the people to invest, but we didn't want to set strict pricing, and we don't want to commercialize it, and that's why we said, okay, so pay what you want. Not pay if you want, but pay what you want. Some people pay €1, some people pay €50 with the money to cover the costs of doing the workshop, like catering, like Red Bull, like the venue where the event is hosted, or if a trainer goes to another city to do the dev meeting, to cover the costs of journey, hotel, train, whatever. So this is the community that lives, that wants to learn. And how does the dev meeting look like? The dev meeting is a mix between a workshop and a hackathon. It is an 6 to 8 hours workshop, 6 hours for the smaller topics, 8 hours for the bigger ones. So a full day event where around 20, 30, sometimes 40 people gather in one space to learn the new technology, like for instance Angular 2, TypeScript, ECMAScript 6, React, Scala, Java 1.8 and other technologies. So for the day, we prepare the subject, we prepare the materials, we prepare many tasks for the people so that they can learn the new technology by coding. And the main idea is that the people should code a small but complete application. This is this hackathon part of dev meetings. So I would say 80% of the time the people code an application. We set the tasks for the people, like a backlog of features to be implemented, and the challenge is to set up a list of tasks so that it fits the skills of the people. Of course, on one event you have more skilled people and people who have not that much experience. So we came with an approach that we split the time of the dev meeting. So for instance, on Angular dev meeting we split the 8 hours in 5 iterations or 5 parts of the meeting. Each part 1 hour and 20 minutes, for instance, and each iteration or each sprint or each part, as in Scrum based approach, is time boxed. It means for the first part, for the first iteration that takes 1 hour and 20 minutes, we have a backlog of tasks to be implemented. For instance, the goal of Angular dev meeting was to implement a small internet shop. And in the first iteration, the tasks were to show a product, to show lists of products, and to do some sorting or filtering of products. And these were the core tasks or the required tasks that actually everybody had to implement. Then, for the people who have who are more skilled or who are faster or who have finished the tasks quicker, then we have some additional tasks so that they don't get bored and that they don't go to the other parts of dev meetings. So everybody is in the first iteration, and for instance the additional tasks or extra tasks for the first iteration were display a list of tags for the product, or handle clicking on the product, and when the user clicks on the product, show the details of the product. So these are some additional tasks that are not critical for the rest of the dev meeting. If you implement them, then it's okay. If you don't implement them, it's also okay. But all the people have all the time actually something to do. In the third iteration, for instance, in this Angular dev meeting, we have implemented the functionality of ordering products in our internet shop, and the core tasks, the required tasks, were the form, the form with user data or customer data, and storing it in local storage. And as an extra task, we asked the people to store the data in Firebase. So the dev meeting was actually Angular based, but we have also shown them other technologies that are connected with Angular, and the people like it that they have as many tasks as possible, so their entire time of dev meeting is covered, and that on one hand they are not frustrated, for instance, that they didn't do everything. On the other hand, the faster people have always something to do, and the goal is really to implement the application by yourself. It means everybody starts with the empty project space in your IDE on your local computer. everybody comes with a laptop. As you can see, for instance, here it was an Ionic framework dev meeting last year, so everybody has his own computer. But we split the people into teams. So, for instance, here we had one team. Here is the another team. This is the mentor, and the team has the opportunity to discuss solutions, to talk to each other, and to brainstorm on ideas and to help each other. But in the end, everybody codes the final code on his own computer. It means that when you go home after the dev meeting as a participant, you have your own version of the code. The applications that the people implement on the dev meetings, they are not that big, because in one day, in 8 hours, when you have a new technology, it's impossible to write a big block of code. But even if it's like 100 or 200 lines of code, but it's a small product. Sometimes it's not, the code is not structured. Sometimes the code is not that clean, but it's a complete product. And the people, when they have the next step, maybe on Monday or in 2 weeks or in 3 months, and they want to get back to the technology, they have a base application that they have implemented by themselves. Basically this is the form of the event. So people code very small applications, but complete applications. We have those iterations, and in each iteration the people code a couple of features that we have defined to them, but at the beginning of each iteration the mentor or the trainer gives a short presentation so that the people can start working on the tasks. And we don't want to have any PowerPoint slides. We don't want to have long academic discussions. We see 5 to 7 minutes of lightning talk is enough, and we want that to be also very practical and code oriented. So we have been thinking of how can we create something engaging for the presentation, so that is interesting for the people, and so that it's practical, and that also that the trainer can easily prepare. And the result is we see that the best thing that works is a presentation based on code. So this here is also an example of an Angular workshop, and in the first iteration we wanted the people to implement a product tile, so a tile with product data, list of products as the core tasks, and then as additional tasks or extra tasks we have defined the list of promoted products and displaying the description of each product on click. So this was the goal for the people, and the presentation that we have given them, it's like 4 slides, but the slides here, each slide is a snapshot of of some small project. So the people have the task to implement an internet shop, but we have shown them a couple of examples based on, in this case, a to-do list. So we have here a couple of information for them, how to start your first Angular project. So a couple of text infos, and then we show them some snippets of code, like adding Angular with npm, then how to start with the code, then how to import Angular with Webpack, and how to create a global module. So these are the core steps. And the cool thing about the code is that each slice that you can see here, so the application will be this presentation application will be getting bigger and bigger in the next steps. But the idea behind creating this presentation is each slide is a commit in GitHub repository. So if you would prepare materials for the presentation, then we would ask you to create, a couple of commits in the repository. So step by step, implement a very small example application, and then we would take the repository and generate the presentation like this. The cool thing about the presentation is it's also the code is also run directly also in the browser, so the people can directly see what happens, and it also provokes discussions with the participants, because they always have questions. What would happen if? What would happen if I would change it to hello? And the code is run. In this course, we have that it's not that fast, not that quick, because this runs on the server, and it's then delivered to the browser. So not that perfect UX experience or usability experience or user experience, but the people can see how the code will function. Of course, the people also have access to the presentation on their computers, so they can play a little bit with the code. And then we have those 4 slides of how to implement the very basic application in AngularJS, and once it is covered, then the people get tasks. So we don't want to have big presentations. We don't want to have PowerPoint. We don't want to have university atmosphere here. We want to have a couple of snippets that are also easy to implement, and it's very engaging. And after many workshops that we have been using it, we see that this is the right approach. So yeah, basically, when we together would create a workshop, we want to help you as much as possible in preparation of everything. So after the 200 workshops that we have done, we believe that we have a process of preparing this, and we will share it also with you, so that it is easy for you, so that it takes a couple of evenings for you to prepare everything. When we did our first workshop back in 2007, I think it took 30 days or so to prepare the workshop, and didn't make sense to, or was frustrating to invest that much time in preparing a workshop for one day. So right now we see that it takes really a couple of evenings to prepare everything, and we will guide you through this. We will help you to work everything out, what kind of application the people should implement, how to structure the tasks, how big should be the task, what should be the storyline of the task, so that it's engaging. And then once we have the application and the tasks, then we will switch to the presentation. We see that it's bad to start with the presentation. Rather than this, it's better to think of a specific application for the people to implement on the dev meeting, like an internet shop or chat or a Twitter clone or whatever, because then it is very practical, very very pragmatical. And then when we have the backlog of features, then for each step we see what theoretical knowledge do the people need to implement them. So the first step is, or will be, brainstorming, or getting to a point where we have an idea for application. Then we will prepare the tasks for the people, split into the 4, 5 or 6 iterations. For each task we will say if it's required core, or is it maybe an additional task for the people that are more advanced. And then the next step will be to prepare the presentation. So presentation meaning you will implement a very small application example by committing pretty often to the repository, and then we will generate the presentation. And the presentation here that you can see is also HTML. So if you would like to change something, to add some comments, to maybe to change the structure, showing the the project tree, maybe in other place or whatever, then you just can do this in the HTML code. So we think and believe that this is a very lightweight process of preparing everything, and we will and want to assist you so that you get our know-how on how to do this efficiently. Back to the dev meeting story, or how it all started and so on. 2008 we started with JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript. 2011 we did a dev meeting about JavaScript games, and we implemented Mortal Clone in JavaScript, and it was a longer dev meeting, 2 days long, but the people implemented a multiplayer Mortal Kombat clone via networking. So we have taken also Node.js and WebSockets and implemented with the people, a complete application the people could play and really get excited and engage. And so we have also a couple of example implementations. When you go to the internet and look for dev meetings Mortal Kombat clone, then you will probably find some repositories about this. Here it's like Mortal Clone JavaScript. Yeah, this is a clone of Mortal Kombat created 2011 by one of the participants. You can go also to the code and see how it is implemented. And as you can see, 6 years ago, 5 years ago, and so on. So we really like to focus on an application that is great. If we have a business framework like Angular or React or whatever, dev meeting, then probably writing a game is not the best idea, but we always try to think of a cool application, of a nice functionality, so that the people can create something that is exciting. So this was 2011. 2015 we said, okay, we have done many workshops in Poland, a couple of them in Germany, so why can't we try to organize some workshops in the United States? So one of our colleagues, Radek, is a great software developer in the area of JavaScript. He back then he worked in Seattle for Amazon Web Services, and he said, okay, we'll set up dev meetings in the US. And we did a couple of workshops, like on ECMAScript 6, like on AngularJS, and the people liked it. So if the people in Seattle said, hey, it's a great experience, then it meant for us that maybe we can bring the event also to other cities. This part of the testimonial I have printed out, and it is it hangs in my office. And the tutorial format and mentoring was probably the best I have seen at a meetup of this kind so far. So we got really excited about people Seattle love it, so why don't we do this also in other countries? So we tried it also in Budapest, in Oslo, and somehow we got to the point that we right now want to cover as many cities as possible, because we think that we have a model of preparing really engaging workshops. Some people ask, okay, is it a commercial activity? Is it a business opportunity, dev meetings, or what is it? So for us, on one side, it's great to exchange knowledge, to meet many people, to learn also very much. On the other hand, we see that it is a group of people who can do business together in some ways. I think we cannot plan how the business will look like, but we see some cool things happening. So, for instance, this Seattle Dev meeting, everything started early 2015. Radek organized this, and on one event, a guy from Groupon came in and said, "Why don't you organize the events at the Groupon offices?" So we started organizing them at the Groupon offices, and then the people from Groupon also went to the dev meeting, hosted at Groupon office, and they hired Radek for a very top level engineering position, and right now he works for Groupon on a position that he probably wouldn't be recruited for in a standard or typical recruitment process. So the people approached him and said, "Hey, Radek, you are a very talented software engineer. You have also very great explanatory skills and very much empathy for what each of participants can implement and how." And they liked it so much that they offered him a pretty interesting position there. On the other hand, we also generate consulting deals on dev meetings. Sometimes companies start with new technologies like React or TypeScript or whatever, and they need external support in starting with projects or doing reviews and so on, or for commercial workshops. So Dev Meetings as itself is a non-profit for us as organizers, and also for the mentors. The pay what you want income goes to the organization organizing the event, so venue, catering, and so on. And that's why the mentors are also not paid, because nobody generates here money directly. But on the other hand, it's a great opportunity to generate business with the people who we are meeting, because the mentors have a great exposure. They meet 20, 30, 40 people on one event, or if we do more events together, then you have an ability to present yourself as an expert to 200 or more people who think, okay, you are the expert on ECMAScript 6, or you are the expert on Angular 2, and if somebody would need some know-how transfer, or would like some consulting, then probably you will be the first person that they will be thinking of at the beginning. Regarding the mentors that we are working and people who we would like to engage in dev meetings is we work with people who have no or almost no educational experience. So actually we don't work that much with teachers or consultants or other people who have right now the experience in teaching. So we basically work with people who are passionate developers, and this is the only criteria. So for instance, the guy that you can see here, Lucas, is a guy who 2 years ago said Ionic framework is the thing for implementing mobile applications using JavaScript, and he was so passionate about this that we said, okay, so let's set up a dev meeting about Ionic. Then he prepared everything. We did all the organization and all the marketing, so the participants come, and then we did the dev meeting. He didn't have any experience in doing workshops and so on. So basically, we see that if a developer like you has passion and is really excited about the technology, then soft skills like presentation skills and so on, it's not needed to start. We see that dev meetings, we are a big family of software developers who are passionate about learning new things. So, and also non-profit and a community-driven thing. So if we have some mentors that at the beginning, for the first time, are a little bit scared or shy about doing presentations, it's okay. It's okay to become red on the first dev meeting ever. But the format is so lightweight that lightning talk after lightning talk, 2, 3, 4 dev meetings, and then you are on a completely other level of confidence, of how to interact with a group of people who learn, how to talk to them, how to manage also sometimes stressful situations, how to manage situations where people ask you about things that you don't have the answer for, and so on. So we see that Dev Meetings is a platform where software developers can become consultants or trainers or people who are more confident in working with people, and there happen some cool things also that are important for your career, and we have experienced this with this Groupon in Seattle, and also other deals that we have done with companies who have seen, okay, this is the first guy who have used Ionic in this country, so we need support in Ionic, so why don't we hire him for a well-paid 1-month consulting deal so that he helps us with getting into Ionic. So this is actually everything that I wanted to show you today. If you like the idea, we would like to partner with you with the preparation, with thinking of an idea of the workshop with you. We definitely need your expertise, we need your technical know-how, but on the other hand, we are also investing our know-how on how to extract your knowledge from your head and put it into a workshop format. And together, if we take the two things, your knowledge plus our form, we see that we can create a great workshop experience or learning experience that people love. So we would love to work with you, to start the preparations, to work out a great idea for an application that the people will implement, to think with you about what to teach the people and what features of your technology are not that critical at the very beginning. So sometimes we cheat the people and don't show them the entire truth, because we don't want to shout out all the knowledge. We want to take the spoon, and as people are feeding a baby, we want to feed them with small chunks of knowledge so that they can really learn in an efficient way. So we would like to work with you. We will, if you would like to work with us, we will set up the dates for the dev meetings, set up the places where we could do them. We don't have a strict calendar. We always work this out with the mentor, and then we also will be working out every details of the presentation and the subject and so on. So this will happen together, and we see that it works very well also with other mentors. So if you like the idea, just confirm that you are in, and then we will start preparing everything and giving access to the entire mentor community that we are building, so that you can get in touch with the mentors of previous dev meetings, and that you can also do some peer reviews with the new mentors like you from other cities. So you will be a part of the dev meetings mentors community. So if you like the idea, let's talk about moving further and working together. Thank you very much for your time.